Hello and welcome to the second ever episode of Randomosity Ramble. The first topic that I'll be covering today is what used to be great but is now terrible. Right off the bat I can think of Star Wars. As a kid I've always loved Star Wars. It was my favorite sci-fi franchise and I watched all the movies and animated series, as well as played most of the video games. That all changed, however, when the Disney sequels were made. I remember watching the first part of the sequel films in the cinema with my brother. As we walked out of the movie theater, I told him I thought the movie was great, and I remember feeling pretty good about it. It didn't last long though, as my brother immediately pointed out that to him it seemed like a copy of The New Hope. I remember having an eye-opening experience after hearing him say that and being like, he's right, it is a copy of The New Hope. A young protagonist from a desert planet embarks on a galaxy-wide journey trying to find the missing leader of the rebellion. An evil organization destroys some planets with their superweapon, the protagonists and their allies destroy the superweapon, and the oldest and the wisest member of the crew is killed by a person once close to them, and so on. Things didn't get any better with the next two films. In fact, I think they were getting progressively worse. Some of the story concepts set up at the beginning were totally ignored. Characters that were presumed to have a big role in the trilogy were completely sidelined. Weird plot choices were made, etc. I think all is not lost, however, as the new Mandalorian TV series is turning out to be pretty great, and the Jedi Fallen Order was good too. Anyway, I hope this trend of making excellent TV shows and video games continues in the future, as it seems that Star Wars is going through a bit of a renaissance after the dark ages that was the sequel trilogy. That would be pretty much all I have to say about Star Wars, and Star Wars really is the only thing that I can think of right now that used to be great but is now terrible. Although I have said it seems lately like there is hope, a new hope I guess you could call it. Moving on to the next topic. What would happen if humans discovered another habitable planet? Well, this is gonna sound funny, but I'd say not much. I don't think anything would happen, really. The reason I say that is because if we discovered another habitable planet, it would probably be using a telescope or an unmanned satellite rather than a spaceship. And we have in fact already discovered a few potentially habitable planets using our telescopes and satellites. So yeah, in short, I don't think much would happen if we discovered another habitable planet. That's because we simply don't have any technology even remotely capable of getting us to the nearest potentially habitable planet, which is over 100 light years away from Earth. What's more, we're not even sure of how we could theoretically make a spaceship that would get us to the next habitable planet in a reasonable amount of time. Using what we have today, it would take us thousands and thousands or even millions of years to get to our goal, that is an Earth-like planet. Well, maybe we could use wormholes, but we're not even sure if those things are real. If we did have technology of the kind we see in sci-fi movies, and we could get to the next habitable planet, however, I think things would go on the same way they do on Earth. Various superpowers would begin to colonize it and eventually fighting over it. Think of the way France, the UK and Spain fought over the Americas. I think something similar would unfortunately happen with the new habitable planet. So that would be pretty much all for today. This was, I guess, a bit shorter than last time, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same, and I'll see you next time.